everyone, Janine here from the Book Publishing Academy. Welcome to another episode of the Book Publishing Academy podcast. I'm super excited because today we have author and speaker Maria Carrion with us today, as she will be sharing more about her book and her process of becoming an author. So welcome, Maria. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me, Janine.
Yes, we are super excited to chat with you about your book. But before we dive in, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Maria?
Well, Maria is a person who has many animals, from three dogs to eight bunnies and chickens.
Oh my God.
Um, I'm a medical assistant at the moment. Well, I've been a medical assistant for over 13 years already, actually. And right now, just published my first book, fighting all battles into success, and I'm hoping to take this to the next level, public speaking, and sharing domestic violence awareness.
I love it. That's a handful with, I didn't know you had eight bunnies or nine bunnies. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we are super excited that you're here with us. Let's dive in. What motivated you to write Fighting All Battles into Success?
What motivated me was the fact that I was abused as a teenager from a covert abuser. He was an adult, and I spent over 9 years of abuse with him. And I know what that is, that you don't tell your family anything what's going on, because you're either protecting yourself or you're protecting the ones you love. So my purpose of my book is to share awareness to domestic violence and help other people who are in the same situation, hidden from the world, I should say, from abuse.
So your story is very personal and it touches on domestic violence, abuse, and having a partner that was an adult. You were a teenager. So how did you know that it was time for you to share your story? Because I say this because there's a lot of survivors of abuse that don't share their story because they're afraid of what their abuser might say or what family might say or what could be the consequences physically. So what made you decide I'm ready to do this and I'm not afraid?
I'm not really sure what made me do that. I always wanted to write the book. Like, I always said that. And I went to my son's wedding 2 years ago, to Louisiana, and my ex-husband's sister um asked me, because we still get along and they don't get along at all, what took you so long to start writing your book?
Mm.
And I told her, I don't know, but life just happened. And I felt like I was ready. But the reason behind it, I know that I want to help people out there. But the fact of what made me start to write it, I think is the fact that I think it is that I want to help people.
Hmm.
Not just to write it.
Yeah. And what does fighting all battles into success mean for you? Like, what does that mean?
I chose that because everything was a battle to me, but at the end, I conquer that, of course. Um, and I'm talking about from when I'm starting from when I came from Puerto Rico at the age of 10. I didn't know how to speak English. By the time I started my seventh grade, my mom took me out of school. And to protect me, I was supposed to get married with this person, in the book, Ricardo, in the book. And I didn't get married. The church was closed. I still dressed in white. But we went and we celebrated as if I got married, and I ended up leaving with this man. And to make it a little short and not say the whole thing, when he went to jail, I said, this is it. Because he had me hidden at home. I couldn't see my family, or it was with permission. He couldn't see me reading, like, so I struggle. I made it. When he went to jail, I went to school and prepare myself. I got my associates and got off welfare with my 4 kids, and then got my bachelor's. And I got a whole bunch of other certificates that I don't even mention, but those were really big goals for me. Um, and then after that, when I moved to Massachusetts, everything changed and everything is good now. But I struggle a lot to earn an education. It was very hard. I took the GED test like maybe like the practice test, I should say, like 10 times until they gave me a certificate that I have still. Um, because they said you're doing great, here's our certificate, but it wasn't the real thing, but I still have it.
Oh, I love it. And do you speak with your ex-abuser at this moment or no?
Not at all. The minute he stepped out of jail 8 years later, he knocked on my door, and I looked at him and I said, "You, this is going to be the last day you're gonna knock on my door. Trust me."
Yeah.
And I just looked at him, and he didn't dare. I didn't even give him the opportunity to even go to child care, what they call child care. I didn't even want that. I took nothing from him
Oh,
because I
child
did it by
support.
myself. So
Like
what
child support.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and but yeah,
Wow. There comes a point when you're dealing with an abuser that you become strong and you kind of tell them like this is the last time, and they see your eyes because it happened to me too. They look at
yeah,
your eyes and it's almost like they know. They just know that if they try you one more time, it's done for. And it's like
yeah,
they get scared a little bit and they never talk to you again.
yeah. Yes, I agree. He stopped hitting me so much. Look at how I sound when I had my last baby.
Hmm.
It was like he knew something was gonna happen or something. I don't know, because he was like, and I didn't believe him, but he was like, "You should start going to school and preparing yourself." When he prevented all of that, and it was just so weird the things he was telling me, and I'm like, really? And I'm like, don't tell him anything what you've been doing, trying to prepare yourself. Don't you dare. Um, but anyway, yeah,
Mm. What are some of the toughest challenges that you faced while writing this book, and how did you overcome it?
living the whole story again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, living the whole story again. I cried more writing the book than in actual life. I never cried. Even some of my very close friends, like Donna McKay, she looked at me in the eyes and she said, I had no, she can't, she's retired, but she came to my job, to my office, and she said, I had no idea. I said, I know a lot of people don't, but we're friends. And she must be thinking why she didn't say anything. Because when I go out with my friends, it's to have a good time.
Yeah, to escape.
That's why. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So it just never came up
Mm.
until now. Now I don't care to talk about it. But before, I went through all these challenges and all this suffering and abuse and rape, and it almost destroyed me. At one point, Janine, at one point I thought there's no way out. I can't no more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I should just let him kill me, or just kill myself, maybe, you know? Um, but something in me, God will always like kind of talk to me and be like, what are you doing? You got 4 kids. And that was my main thing. And I always said, I don't want my kids to go to a shelter. I don't want my kids to go to a shelter. I make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
That never happened, because wherever I went, my kids had to come with me. And usually it was my mom, the one person who sent me to Puerto Rico and then took me out of school, was the one that was there for me. Every time I needed a place, she would be like, come on and pick me up.
Mm.
Yeah.
And when you're going through it, it's one of those things where you don't want to share with people because you're embarrassed too. But what would you say to someone? Because there's a lot of people, especially on social media, there's people that will say, well, why didn't you leave? Number one, why did you stay? That's the number one question you get. And then why did it take you so long to share, come forward and say something? What would you say to those people?
It's not that easy.
Mhm.
It's not that easy because they brainwash you. And the thing is that they do it little by little, little by little, little by little. So that's why I want to educate people on these tactics. Um, so you don't even realize, but they treat you so good, so good that when you don't have it, you crave it. You crave it, and at this point, you'll do anything to make him happy, and so that we were good. If I don't do this, then everything will be okay, and that's the mentality that we have when we know we when we are not educated, I should say, because I educated myself. My bachelor's is in psychology, but I study more than that, but on my own. I like reading. I have you mentioned the
DSM.
DMS. Yeah, when I listened to your video, and I was like, I gotta get back to that book because I had to buy it again when I was gonna go for mental health clinician, but because my medical conditions sometimes, like right now, I'm cramping, and that's why you see me like this. I'm getting a cramp. So yeah, I will study that, but yeah, it's difficult. It's not that easy to just leave. I have a book. That's my next book that I'm gonna reading and reach to this author. Too bad I don't have it right next to me, and it would be rude for me to get up and get it in front of me. But if you allow me, I will. No, it's okay. All right, that's fine. So I bought a book because it says, "Why didn't you just leave?" And I want to read it.
Yeah, it's hard. Not only
Yeah.
you get brainwashed, you get trauma bonded. Um,
Yes.
you hang on to hope that they're gonna change. You
Yes.
believe their lies.
Yes.
And a
Yeah.
lot of times you are just in danger. Like leaving is the hardest time to leave. Or
Yes.
that's when most women get unalived by their abuse.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. That's
how,
true.
how do you hope your story will inspire others who are facing similar battles?
I'm hoping for them to be not only inspired to move on, move forward, but inspire them to educate themselves. And even if when I'm doing these events, one person benefits from that, I feel good, because there's one more person that can be safe out there. That's the way I feel. And I'm not going to give up, just like I didn't give up with all the other stuff that I've been through. I'm not going to give up, and I'm going to be out there. And I know I'm going to be out there. Like I feel it in my heart, and God tells me I am.
I love it. How do you think writing the book has helped you heal?
It was my therapy.
Right?
It was my therapy because I didn't go. I don't recommend that to anybody. Not everybody is the same. But I am a person that if I grab a book and I study it, I follow through. I follow through. And that's through all my life. I realized that I do that through my life. So yeah.
Mhm. And can you share a little more about your experience with the Book Publishing Academy? You got started with us, you went through the modules, you learned how to publish your book. Tell us a little more about that.
Definitely. So when I was doing a lot of research, because I did a lot of research, because you have to. And after interviewing a couple of people, no. And then I said, if you don't hear from me, I was honest. It means that I'm not gonna reach out.
Mhm.
I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time either. And then when I found you, I was like, Arizona? Come on. You always say you want to travel. I said, you know what? And everything sounded good, everything that I was expecting. And more. And more. It really, like, you get so much more out of the book publishing academy. Your academy is awesome. I would recommend that to anyone.
Thank you.
Literally, invest, for people to invest, because in this life you got to invest to make money. You just can't make money without money. You just can't.
What are some of the things that you learned that you didn't know before?
Now I know how to publish the book in the system. I know how to get an ISBN. I know how to get the Library of Congress and where to get it. Um, I know how to send press release letters.
That's
I know how to, like, it goes on.
I love it. And you literally took what you learned and you just ran with it. Like what opportunities have opened up for you since the book?
I've been to a couple of I've been to one podcast, I should say, but I have taken many trainings, applying for them for free also. Now everything that I'm trying to grasp is educating myself on public speaking, communication, um, to talk in podcasts, and feel more confident, um, things like that. To get me where I want to be, and not I don't expect this right away, but at least in 2 years I would like to be up in a stage. And if it happens before, like I thought I was going to publish my book next year, and my anxiety, even though I have a 9 to 5 job and a million things to do, I made it. And I was like, wait a minute, I was supposed to do this for next year. What happened here? Yeah.
I love it. We are so proud of you. It's so
Thank you.
good to see you. Like, just everything that you have learned, you're like taking it and you're implementing it. And what I like is that you're being consistent. Like, she shows up consistently on Facebook, she does lives, she's posting, she's DMing people, she's really putting herself out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if you continue to be consistent, you're going to see bigger and better results from this. So, what would you say? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Traveling the world and doing it more. Go to India, go to any country that needs um my material, my advice, my education, my experiences. Yeah, I would love that. Definitely.
I love it. That sounds amazing. Where can our listeners reach you? Do you have a website, email? Where can they find you?
They can find me on my email at Carrion, Carrion, Maria, Maria 619 at gmail.com, or my website, in which I am placing blogs, also newsletter, monthly newsletters, um, at www.mariacarrion.com. And they also can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I have some videos on YouTube as well. And I had an interview about domestic violence through YouTube. That's one video out there like that too.
Awesome. So you guys can check it out if you search for her on YouTube. Well, Maria, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. We truly appreciate you. We're so proud of you. And I cannot wait to see you in in 2 years speaking on stage and traveling to India. When you get to India, let me know.
That would be great.
Uh,
I have friends from over there. They doctors here.
yeah, and
You
I
never
can't
know.
wait for your next book too, because that one is going to be just the follow-up. It's going to be really, really good. So
Yep.
So yeah, I want to thank you so much. And guys, if you're tuning in, make sure that you like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave us a comment. We truly, truly appreciate it. And we will see you on the next episode of the Book Publishing Academy podcast. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Janine. Thank you so much. Bye bye.